This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The following will contain strong language, adult themes, and Mara. Listener discretion is advised.
Hi, we saying it's Nelle.
Hi guys, what's goody? It's Tammie.
Hey, it's your girl Mara.
And this is the Not Too Much podcast. If you know, you
know.
This is an online recording, guys. So if that sounded off, ignore it.
You know what? Now you need to stand on it, girl. Let's never tell them it's an online edition. Actually, no, I've just told them that I'm in France, so it has to be. No, I was gonna say like if it sounds off, but
I'm gonna fade this out.
Bonjour.
Okay.
You don't have to use. No, cut that bit out. Don't use that.
No, we're keeping it. Fade. Anyway, let's get cracking. Oh.
Welcome back, everyone. How are you? This is a little bit different than our usual setup. That being that a third of us is not in the country that the rest of us are in. I am currently in France for my year abroad. So we're doing this online, if you can't already tell.
Oh.
Yeah.
Period.
But anyway, how is everyone? Wait.
Ça va?
Are we just doing translation work the whole episode? I did not get the memo.
Au revoir.
Bonjour. Salut.
They've just told me hi twice, but it's
S'il vous
okay.
plaît.
Okay. This broken French is not gonna last the whole episode, is it?
Oh, don't make that a challenge.
Because she's actually going to incorporate it now. You should have never, ever brought
I
it
didn't
up.
even have to say anything for this girl to start speaking French on this podcast. So, genuinely, she has all the control.
Very, very scary. Very scary.
Scary.
But anyway, since I've been away, I've been very much enlightened to what this year is about. Listen, I felt like, because everyone's like, okay, like you guys are on your final year right now.
Ooh.
Oh,
okay.
So nasty and so rude.
Did you not know?
So nasty and so
rude. Do I have to tell you?
So nasty and so rude.
I thought you got the memo that this is your final year. Unless you want to do another degree.
Okay, girl. That just felt a little bit sassy.
No, you know something? This kind of feels like a microaggression because Nelle has been calling me sassy and using the word a lot since I got on the call. So I
black on black crime.
I feel like it's a bit microaggressive of you, but you know what?
No,
I've
just been loving the
Everyone
word
has a
sassy
bias,
recently.
so it's okay.
Right, I'm gonna clock you there. You think you because I'm looking at you for a screen that you can all start chatting all this? when we were back in my room, she was never talking like this. Mara, uncover my eyes.
Every episode they hear us beef and scrap. Like, this is nothing new. You tried it, but it's okay.
So a girl can't say sassy anymore.
This is why I've been campaigning for.
Why do you keep saying Savat? Like, no, you're in Cardiff.
S'il vous plaît.
Why are you asking please for?
No violence.
S'il vous plaît.
But Tammie, continue.
No, this is why I've been campaigning for a HR department in NTM. How
many listeners do we have for a HR department?
That's the motivation. With every listener we get, we are one step closer to having a full-fledged HR.
To HR? No. BFFR.
So do it for the greater good, guys, because I have a lot to talk to with our HR manager in question. Yeah.
Anyway, carry on.
But yeah.
This year was about what? What's your enlightenment moment?
Well, you know something? I was having a conversation with someone and I realised, like, this year, like, every year you try and make it something like, oh, this year's for enjoyment, this year's for self-growth, and da-da-da-da. I genuinely think this is a year of no distractions. Confronting your biggest fears. Genuinely.
I feel you on that one.
And speaking on the conversation of fears, you guys scared of anything? You want to share anything? This is a safe circle.
I'm looking at now.
I thought you were
Me?
going to say you're
What?
looking
Because
at
I have
your
a
figure,
phobia.
and I was about to say...
She has a phobia, guys.
Oh, yeah, guys, okay, I want to make it clear. A lot of people claim they have phobias, right? A phobia is an irrational fear. A lot of you, man, don't have phobias. You're just scared of something, okay? I'm going to talk to you real on real,
About
okay?
a real phobia.
I'm talking about a real phobia. And you know what? I used to get mocked for this, but I'm going to stand in
People
it.
bullied you
She
for
still
it. People
sometimes
mocked you
gets
for
a
it.
bit mad.
Oh, I was never bullied.
Sorry, not
Relax.
bullied. People mocked you.
Oh,
I was actually never bullied.
Oh,
But I was
no.
mocked. I was mocked. I was never bullied.
damn.
Girl.
Sorry, the laughter kind of jumped out. I'm really sorry, guys.
Jerk reaction, you know.
I'm really sorry.
Calm down.
Guys,
As if-
I
you
don't know.
apologise.
It's a trauma response.
No, that's the thing.
You know what I mean? As if we didn't.
That's a real knee-jerk
That's a- ooh.
reaction. You were like,
Ooh, I got a journal about that one.
You were like, I wasn't bullied, I was
Scary,
mocked.
like,
And I was like, okay.
Ooh, sorry. I got a journal on that one.
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, girl.
Dave, as if we weren't the people carrying through the streets of Lanzarote.
Ooh, okay, let me get into it. Guys,
Talk about the real
I have a
phobia.
phobia. I have a phobia of cats.
Meow. Sorry.
Why,
I'm just-
Mara?
You don't hear me buzzing. Bzz, bzz, bzz.
You see, I'm gonna stay out.
We'll
of
get
this.
into it.
I'm gonna
We'll
stay
get
out.
into it.
That was mean. I retaliated.
Ça
Sorry.
va?
I'm not scared of French.
Okay. I have a phobia of cats. It stems from a very deep childhood traumatic moment when I got chased by a cat.
Sorry. It's not funny. It does sound really scary when she describes it.
No, it was terrifying. Shout out to my sister, she was there. It was a really tough moment, but it now means that I'm deeply afraid of cats. Guys, I know it's irrational and I know that they're supposedly cute creatures. But genuinely, when I see one or when I hear one, goosebumps, hair stand up, very alert, hot flashes, the whole shebang. And I know I shouldn't be afraid of them, but I am.
It's a lot.
It's not
and you
that
know
you shouldn't
what?
be, because I think it's weird. It's not weird. It's like, it's not fair to limit yourself to be like, oh, I shouldn't be scared of something. You're not scared of cats. You're scared of cats, man.
Sorry.
I don't know what else to tell you.
Why does that sound like a scene from Top Boy?
You're not scared of cats.
Just scared of cats, man.
You're scared of cats, man.
You're just scared of cats.
Gunshot.
What?
No, but I feel like I'm scared of what they
Represent.
Is it
Present.
like, you know, when people talk about phobias and they talk about like the emotional response from that traumatic event, like,
Yeah.
as in, it's like the idea of the trauma, the feelings that you had there. It's like
Yeah,
the fear of
replicate.
being in that same feeling, that same spot again. and again.
Yeah.
Oh,
over
sorry,
and over again,
sorry.
Oh
yeah.
my
Sorry.
god. You've unlocked a memory, but yeah.
I've unlocked a memory.
Yeah, we'll get to it. But yeah, now it's really scared of cats. Which is fine. But we went on holiday and there was around it.
That's when because obviously it's not a situation that you want to like see someone in. Like, it's the fact that, especially because of where we were staying, it was right by a pool as well. So the cats
And the
just
cats
came to
would-
be drinking water. That was one bobcat, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it
it
was.
was.
You see, you know what? To be fair,
Even Mara
Our door wasn't working properly, or we weren't using it properly. So Mara
We didn't know
was
how to
trying
use
to
it.
sort it from the outside. She heard one loud growl.
No,
the way
guys.
I saw fear in her eyes. The way she
I
took
feel
it
like-
back, and she's like, "Open the door now."
No, because it was like a long. I've never heard an animal sound like that. You know, it was like a. I can't even imitate it. But it was. I looked back and I thought, "What the hell is that?"
And it was there
such
every
like
night.
a movie moment, because the way you slowly looked back, I was like, "No, it wanted Mara a la carte," and Mara said no. So
Whoop. A la carte.
Hello, who?
off the menu,
See?
girl.
French.
All right. We know what a la carte
Yeah,
means.
like, it's, oh,
Yeah.
why are you triggered?
What does a la carte mean?
I like irritating Tammie a little bit. Like, it's kind of fun.
Oh god.
People
That's
love to
not
trigger
right.
me, but no.
And your trigger is.
My trigger is honestly, I don't think I have a fully like fledged out like phobia, but I do think I have
Mm.
like an assortment of fears. Like, okay, I can be scared of trees. Like,
You had such a perfect opportunity to have like an alliteration within your sentence.
Say the alliteration.
Because I was like, and your trigger is trees.
Wow, the English really jumped out there. Tammie's silence is deafening.
like, because I'm like, what am I supposed to do with that? But anyway, thank you. Yeah, my trigger is trees, and pigeons. Okay, like it's a P.
She added that one in.
I might as well.
Pigeons.
Yeah, no, just because like you know how some people are like just scared of birds because of like I guess how they just fly about and they're in your face and then they just poo on you sometimes. Like a lot of things, a multitude of things are the reasons why.
Oh.
But I don't have like a phobia of them. I just feel like unsettled by them.
Right.
Especially because I don't like them being so jumpy, like their wings just go up for no reason, like just chill. But anyway.
That's seagulls, you know.
Oh,
Seagulls are the
I had
most
to get out
bad
of
mind.
Cardiff because the
Oh.
seagull issue over there is ridiculous.
They're the
Well,
most-
you're gonna be back.
Oh yeah, true. And we can't protect you.
You weren't protecting me before, but
Oh.
from seagulls, no, you weren't.
So nasty and so rude.
So nasty and so
So
rude.
rude.
I'm just saying, like, but you know something that I was convinced I was scared of at a certain point. I was
What?
convinced that I had like a fear of like you know circles, like how
the
they're like
trypophobia thing.
holes.
Yeah, that trypophobia
Yeah.
thing.
I was convinced for a while, like I had.
I feel like everyone convinces themselves are scared of that, but they're not.
I mean, because
I'm
you're
not
staring
afraid
into
of
the
it.
abyss,
It's a
honey.
sensory.
You're staring into the
No,
abyss.
it's the sensory feeling for me.
It does
when I
look
see that.
horrible. Like when you look at something, it's unsettling. It's like uncanny. Realistically,
Yeah.
you're not going to feel like comforted by that, or maybe you are. That's weird.
No, but I feel that like ants buried in my skin when I see that.
No.
Nah, like I actually can't look at. Even my sister, she knows this because she'll tell me not to look at certain things because I can literally
Oh.
feel it buried in my skin, like popcorn ceilings.
Popcorn.
Oh no, sorry.
You know those ceilings.
No, please.
Nah,
She's
don't fuck with
itching.
that.
She's
Sorry,
itching.
I don't mess with that one.
What's popcorn?
No,
Actually, don't
just
describe
Google
it.
it. We don't need to.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to
close
see.
Continue.
But no,
Yeah, because that's scary.
I feel like but in general, I think a lot more people have fears than full-blown phobias. But listen, they're out there, honey. Neither is a walk in the park. Listen.
Oh, that's a bit scary. Ew! Oh, I see what she means about popcorn ceiling now.
Oh,
I'm not bothered by that. But I tell you what, okay, I'll talk about my fear because you saying what you said earlier unlocks a memory, and I'm like, I think I understand why I'm scared of what I'm scared of. It's not a phobia, but everyone knows I'm scared of like buzzing. Usually, the fear is heightened when the buzzing is attached to a fly. Or a flying insect of some sort. I don't know what it is, but it's not the vibe. But even like buzzing, like those plug-in insect repellent things, I can hear them. I don't like it. It's not. I can't, and I have to unplug it because it makes. What did I say before? Like my blood itch.
Like you said like you could feel like hairs growing.
Yeah, but I used to, as a little kid, I don't know what this is about, but I used to be so scared of like the air that I would like have to go to my mum's bed and like hide. I can't explain it, but when I was little, sometimes it still happens. I can see that I can see the air. I kept saying there's flies in the air. There's flies in the air because. This is embarrassing. There's like flies in the air, and like I feel like everyone can see it. Like you know the air that there's like particles.
Yeah.
No. No, I was like no, but you can't see it, so realistically. Oh.
No comment. Go on.
You know there's like little dots in the air sometimes, or say like you can see like gas in the air, and you can see like the gas.
Okay, yeah.
Baby things. Think of that like little dots, yeah. But sometimes when the TV light came on, like just light, I was like, there's flies in the air, and in my ears would ring, like buzz. I don't know, maybe I was going through something, I don't know. But I was terrified of the air. Like, I could not sleep on my own, like, because there was flies in the air.
Oh, I feel bad. Sorry, Nelle.
Okay. But maybe that's where it come from.
Maybe.
I had a very vivid imagination, so it could have been that as well when I was little. But
there was probably some level of reality with it.
Yeah, that's my fear. I don't like those big, dirty bin flies. They're nasty. And I saw on Bear Grylls Born Survivor that they poo on your food.
Yeah, they do. It's because they just go from thing to thing, and so that's why you need to swat away them flies before they touch your food.
You can't eat it after that, guys. And I also saw flies when they like hatch maggots, and I saw when maggots embed into your skin on Bear Grylls. No, I had this weird wild CD, and like he would put like maggots on his skin. They would bury it into his skin, and he would squeeze them out. So scary.
This topic isn't fun anymore.
Sorry.
Maybe we should wrap this up. Triggering. Listen, if
this isn't fun
find
anymore.
this content a little bit too much, go to the promo break.
So do we.
Go to the promo break.
Listener discretion advised.
That's true. We told you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome back to another promo break, guys. This time coming from France. So hopefully you've been enjoying the episode so far. And if not, well, you're going to continue to enjoy it. So hopefully you're already listening to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts. If not, get your act up. And if you want to continue to keep up with us, also stay tuned on TikTok at the NTM Podcast and Instagram at the NTM Pod. Anyway, guys, back onto the show. Okay, guys, we gave you a little break from the phobia conversation, and we're about to amp it up even more.
Wrap it up.
Listen, we're never about stopping what we started. Like, we're gonna do this until it's over. Sorry.
Oh.
What?
Okay.
Didn't you know what you signed up for?
That's fair.
Sorry.
Yeah. No.
This is not too much.
This is not too much. But speaking about fear, I feel like we need to unpack that topic just a little bit more, as if you weren't triggered already, just a little bit more, and like kind of get into like the scariest thing about fear itself. What do you guys think? Like,
oh God, she starts humping.
It's because I grew up in the church, guys. So my automatic response is to go,
Mm-hmm.
You know, in a book,
when you absorb the words.
Side note, when it says like HUMPH, like hump. I used to actually read it as people saying humph, but it's not. It's just the noise.
Mm-hmm.
But I used to be like, he humphed.
So rather it's more like
anyway,
the scariest
like
thing
we're
about
avoiding
fear.
the topic so much. Because
we're afraid of the topic. Do you know how crazy that is?
It's the Matrix. You had a lot to say in those little sighs or big sighs.
I think, okay, this is just like a general just thought.
Okay.
We can jump off it, but I think for me personally, when I think about the scariest thing about fear, it's normally about how people approach it.
Yeah, I agree.
For yourself and for others as well. Like some people, fear is a motivation. They eat it up. They use that to drive themselves. Challenge. They channel into fear. And this isn't like an overall thing. I mean, it is like there are certain things that make you fearful that like push you to do better. True. But there are certain things that make you fearful that cause you to shut in, that cause you to lash out. Like it's the way people approach fear in the different areas of their life that make it scary. And like it's scary for yourself, right? To see yourself react in that way. But it's also super scary to see someone else and their approach to fear and how that could affect you, the people around you, and society at large. Because even if you look at, I'm not going to get political, but if you look at the government right now, in every single country, their approach to fear is causing us a whole lot of trouble.
To crumble. No, yeah. I feel like I definitely want to touch on like one of your first kind of comments in terms of like approach, because I think for some people, I think maybe they could resonate with the idea like that fear breeds vulnerability. And I think depending on your relationship with vulnerability and being able to be vulnerable, there is a level of like, I think, struggling with being that open, with being for such a raw feeling to be just kind of laid out there. And another thing about fear is, I think when you're always kind of trying to do searches to try and understand like, okay, what does this fear mean, and you know what, you're looking for examples of people experiencing the same thing or wanting to find people that kind of share that same fear. I think there's a big fear in itself about being alone in your own fear and having just and your fear being individual. Like you can be like, oh yeah, you know, I have a phobia of this, or I have a phobia like this because I've read this and people have been able to verify that and people agree that that's a thing. But what if it's just your own experience? Like no one else can, or no one else in your immediate vicinity can relate to that fear in itself. That's scary. Because that means that you have to be able to be like, you have to validate your own self. You have to validate your own fears and be like, yeah, this is valid. Like this is not just me just making up something. So I think it allows you to reflect inward, and it depends how comfortable you are with that process and comfortable to be able to stand alone in that fear.
And because I feel like fears usually do come from have an aspect of irrationality to it. It's almost like you can't even logic or reason it out. And that also is another isolating factor on top of that. So fear like literally can immobilize you. Immobilize or demobilize?
Immobilize.
Yeah. Literally immobilize you, one. That's scary because you're already now isolated within your own body. Two, then on top of that, it's kind of like I can't actually understand myself what this is about, or I can't relate to other people, which is why I feel like there's such a wave of relief when someone goes, "Oh, I'm scared of this," and you're like, "Oh, you're scared, me too." It's like, oh, thank God, you know what I mean? I'm like, girl, it's dark, but it also can be good.
Yeah, I feel like with fear, it's I think kind of like what you were saying as well, Mara, like there's almost like a problem and a solution in like a lot of people's like logical understandings and thought processes. Like, okay, if I'm scared of this thing, what is the solution for me being scared of this, like of overcoming this fear? And certain fears cannot like immediately be moved past, or like, you know, I guess like worked on or healed from, or like sometimes the fear is a long-term thing. So I think for me, something that I might have realized is like the scariest thing about fear is not being able to like immediately solve it as soon as you understand it or are aware of it. Like the idea like, okay, I'm like, for example, I'm scared of trees. I can't just cut down every tree in the universe. Like
Well, we
I
would be
can't.
dead.
Yeah, I know. I did science.
So that too.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that too.
Thanks, Laura. I wasn't on a mission. I wasn't on a mission to go start cutting down trees. Like this, it's not my portion. But you know what I'm saying. Like in terms of like the process of like sometimes you just have to sit in it, being aware of that fear, and then being sitting in the fact that okay, this is an aspect of my living experience. I'm scared of something.
Yeah, because most people like things you want to avoid, you will block out the awareness for it. Like a lot of people like to move in ignorance, let's be honest, and instead of facing it. You can't move in ignorance of fear. It is washing over your body so intensely that there's no way that you're not you're not aware of it. I think that's another thing because there's no choice. You can't choose to be ignorant of fear.
Yeah, I think, okay, one thing that I want to kind of emphasize though is You guys are gonna hate me for saying this phrase.
No, so.
I don't really believe in binaries. And when it comes to emotions, I think in general, Mara, I'm gonna need you to fix your face. Because she hoped something. And I know I say this all the time, but emotions are not inherently negative or positive.
Yeah.
Emotions just are. And I think sometimes we attach negativity, rightfully so in most cases, I'll be honest, to fear. But it is something that I feel like fear, as all emotions do, guide us in our world. Sometimes fear can be a bad guidance. It can cause you not to do some things, or it can cause you to do things that maybe don't work in your best interest. But sometimes fear does guide you to, you know, stay aware or stay alert, or maybe I'm not going to do this thing because it is a bit scary, right? And I feel like what scares me, and I'm not going to say this from a high and mighty place because it's something I still need to work on, but what really, really terrifies me is we do not know how to utilize fear or any emotion to our highest good.
Oh,
that's true.
You have a fear of something, right? And you're just letting it drive you instead of you sitting with it.
And that might
Sometimes
be,
you got
that might be a scary thing of its own, to
Mm-hmm.
feel like the fear itself can be in the driver's seat and take control of you, or the idea that you don't have to always succumb to this fear, like that you have the capacity to at times be driven by the fear, but at times to also drive the fear. Like,
yeah, I feel like this is such a weird way to put it, but like recently I've been like envisioning my emotions as people. Like you know, Inside Out.
Like,
I
Inside Out.
love that movie.
Inside Out, but like, okay, if we use fear or feeling scared, because bit of a life update, I quit my job, right? I quit my job. That was a really scary thing for me to do, like terrifying.
You had to relinquish
like,
that control.
Oof, that was a journey in itself.
Yeah,
but
because
if you saw me this time last year,
oh boy,
we talked about this so much. I'm so. Can I just say as well, because forget structure, like I'm actually so proud of Nelle for quitting her job.
Literally.
I haven't had the chance to say this to her like properly, so this is my platform to say it.
Oh, thanks.
I'm genuinely so proud of Nelle for quitting her job, because in the space that you're in right now, like in terms of like life in general, but also applying context, being a student, being like going into your final year and like, you know, having all these responsibilities, but also trying to look towards your future and being an ambitious person, it is hard to like be like, even something that I know I won't do forever, I know that's not my passion to do forever, still I have something and I have to like resign from it. Like it takes a lot to put down something that wasn't necessarily like meant for you in the long run, but was good for the time that it was there. Because sometimes you're like, because that's what I wonder sometimes. I'm like, generally, I was in my head, I was like, they're gonna have to fire Nelle at some point because this girl will not leave. No, because I was like, obviously, I'm joking and I'm exaggerating, but I was like, they're gonna have to pry that lanyard from her hands before she leaves that establishment, just because, like, you know, like I understood, but I'm very proud of you because it takes a lot. That's a fear in itself to do nothing. I have nothing right now. I have no job. No, I'll keep it.
Okay,
like
we get it. Yeah, I'm still working through it, girl.
But I understand, like in terms of, because it's such a good conversation and it's come at such a good time. Like currently, I've had to like kind of start a new phase of my life and let go of a lot of things. I was very much a busybody before I came to France, so so I have no meetings, I have no extracurriculars, I have no job. genuinely, like, I'm just studying right now, and I'm trying to get through that. But like, all I have really, like, the constant is myself, and that's a fear in itself. Oof.
And we are proud.
Oh,
We are so proud of you.
yeah.
Go back to season
But-
one.
We've been telling her for the
Please,
longest time.
go back to maintenance. I think it's maintenance, money, and me time in season 1.
Yeah.
Fear of
We've
being
been trying to
alone.
tell this girl.
Hey,
We've
fear of
been
being
trying to
alone.
tell this girl.
Guys, but
Yeah.
what I was gonna say is I see emotions, but I saw fear
Yeah.
as a person, right?
Yeah.
And in my mind, I was like, I'm gonna just sit with you for now. I don't know what to do now, but you're here. You're here and you're not leaving until we figure a plan out. And I didn't necessarily want you to force me to do something. I was like, you're not dragging me. We're going to sit down together. I sat for like, how many months? How many months of summer? July. No, June. No, May, June, July, August. 4 months I sat with fear. 4 months I sat with that girlie and I said, let's get into it. And we chatted, we talked, we keyed, we laughed, we cried. September, I said, okay, girl, let's get going.
Yeah.
She's still with me, by the way.
Oh, they will always be with you.
They'll always, but sometimes emotions take their turn to sit with you, to lead you, to guide you, and to follow you. Guys, talk to your girlie fear.
I don't want to talk to her. She looks scary. She's like weird Barbie.
Don't be disrespectful.
My girlie's cute. She's got a bust down middle part.
No, mine looks not like that at all. A bust down middle part?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just heard what you said.
I'm like, okay, I have a very
Bust down middle
imaginative
part scare
brain.
me. Like, we gotta elevate.
Oh, no, I like the bust down middle part girlies. I got your back, girls.
Everyone wants everyone in a bust down middle part.
I don't want to bust. I don't
if
see
it
a middle
suits
part.
you, then
I had to shut down one of my social medias one day because I literally had gone through like 50 comments of this particular celebrity, and everyone's like, oh, this outfit would look so much better with a jet black bust down middle part. I said, shut up.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I actually know exactly what you're talking about. Moving on.
Oh no, it was funny enough, it was from the Renaissance World Tour. Like, it was in the B costume, and I was like, "What are you talking about? Bust down,
bust down."
I know. I literally know what she's on about.
Beyonce is a blonde. The same way Nene Leakes is a blonde, and the same way Mary J. Blige is a blonde.
And me, ho.
Yeah, and Mara's a blonde too.
Like, I was like, everyone. I thought, well, it's blatant. I think for some of the conversations, it's just blatant texturism. Because I know that they're scared of having any other hair texture than straight 3A or 2B or whatever this letter is, and number combination. But yeah, but that's a conversation for another day.
3 of the jet black bust downs.
But yeah, I mean, this might be a personal question.
Yeah.
Oh.
But are you guys afraid of fear?
Of course, yeah.
Of course. I don't know if you wanted a deeper answer than that, but yeah. Yeah, how can you not be? I think that's what it's asking you to sign up for. Like,
Me and fear tussle.
Yeah,
Me, fear, and ego sit in a room and we just go back and forth.
Oh,
ego.
Let's talk about ego and how it coincides with fear.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, because you have to put your pride to the side in order to let fear come in.
And ego says no.
Your ego has to die, literally, for you to... Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
Haven't you heard of ego death? Like, your ego literally has to die sometimes for you to be able to embrace fear. Sometimes.
Controversial opinion. Yeah, sometimes. I think sometimes ego death does come from a very... if you look at intersections...
Yeah.
Some people need more ego.
Some people are forced to have ego death that don't need ego death. You need an ego revival.
Yeah, we need to start pumping blood back into that. Because... because there is... I think, and that intersection with fear, a lot of and if I talk candidly, a lot of Black women are afraid to show a level of ego because of how we are reprimanded because of it. The fear that comes with that, the fear of standing up for yourself, the fear of saying, I am that girl.
Yeah.
Fear of taking credit.
Yeah.
Just the fear of that, the fear of showing a level of ego with Black girls.
This became a race and
which is why
a lecture.
It did. Now that I'm back in uni, guys, I'm back at it.
God.
But let's talk about it, which is why Renaissance, the album by Beyonce, Giselle Knowles Carter. Guys, that album, I think, is one of the most blatant messages of taking fear by the collar
and releasing it.
And releasing it.
I'm that girl.
She starts off with, I'm that girl.
That's my favourite song.
Then she says, I'm an alien superstar. I'm cozy. I'm cozy.
Let's not even get to America Has a Problem, honey.
And then
I'm pure honey.
Oh, I feel like we've said enough, but we did go to Renaissance World Tour.
I think it's the lovely thing about this conversation is I think it's a realization that fear does not have to be like your end. It doesn't have to be the final destination.
It's your beginning.
It doesn't have to be the final destination at all. It is the door to another layer of you, another understanding of yourself. You cannot live life as a single faceted person, as in being like, okay, I only have the capacity to be happy or elated or ecstatic or confident or one of those singular understandings. You have the capacity to be able to experience a full range of emotions, sadness, anger.
I was like, that's it. Sorry.
Envy. Envy.
No, because literally, fear opens doors.
Not every emotion has to be ugly. Fear does not have to be ugly.
Fear opens doors to your friend ego, to your friend envy, to your friend greed, and those are what can be all aspects of your shadow self.
Oh, the shadow self.
The shadow self. Ooh. And to understand you properly, you need to tap into shadow self. And shadow self is not always negative. You actually sometimes need to use your shadow self.
Balance,
however,
guys. Balance.
Everything with balance.
And
balance.
You know what, guys? We were fearful with this podcast.
Oh.
Thanks,
okay.
No,
we were
not too much now.
I forgot.
No, but see, guys, we were so afraid.
Yeah.
When we released season 1, episode 1, the fear.
It was scary. It's still scary now.
It's still scary. Like, we have not released season 3 yet. I'm still terrified when we release this. I'm terrified to listen to this episode back.
Yeah.
Right, but fear
Yeah.
opens up doors if you allow it.
That's the thing. If you allow it,
and that's the scary thing.
You can either
allow
obstacle.
It. Literally, because you can either allow fear, or you could basically shut you and fear in a dark room and never come out. Key gone. Red pill or blue pill? No, that's too. That's dramatic.
Right.
Anyway.
Okay, people, that's the end to this episode. I've been Nelle.
I've been Tammie.
And I've been Mara.
And we've been the Not Too Much podcast. If you didn't know before, you know now.
Au revoir.
Oh.
Bring the beat in, 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 bring the beat in.
I'm that girl.
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 Bring the beat.
She's that girl. 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 Ooh, she's that girl. She's that girl. She's that girl. With those girls. With those girls. Where those girls. Where those girls. NTM those girls. NTM those girls. NTM those girls. NTM those girls. Still in your podcast. Still in your listeners. Still in your people. Still in your girls.
Stealing who?
Who did you say was stealing?
Your people.
She said we're stealing our people.
Your people? We're stealing your people.
This is giving.
Share the podcast, guys. Word of mouth helps us get out there.
Do you know what I mean? And this is reparations because they stole us.
Cut.